ladies and gentlemen, today we are looking at grammar lesson N. And with this, we are looking at commas. And we want to make sure that we are using commas correctly because remember, the name of this class is AP English Language and Composition. So we need to make sure that we are composing our language correctly, and that means the correct usage of commas. So let's go ahead and look at today's lesson. So with commas, there are different reasons you would use a comma. The first reason you use a comma, you need it after introductory elements. So if we look at the example here, for example, comma, dogs make excellent pets. When we look at this sentence, dogs would be our subject, make would be our verb, and then excellent pets, of course we have an adjective here, pets would be our direct object. Well, what is for example? Well, it's just an introductory element. It doesn't actually go into the sentence, so we would use a comma to show that it is separate from our main clause. In our second example, in the past, I gave a lot more homework. In the past, again, it's our introductory element. We put a comma after that. I would be our subject, gave would be our verb, and homework would be our direct object. So we need commas after introductory elements. Now what you're going to see on No Red Ink is a lesson that looks like this. It'll tell you use a comma to show a pause after a clause or a phrase. So running at top speed, comma, during the night, comma, because he enjoys music, comma. So we have a gerund phrase, a prepositional phrase, a subordinate clause, but basically all of these are being used as introductory clauses, so we need a comma after them. If no pause is necessary, you don't use a comma. All right, so do not use a comma, which No Red Ink will show you, if no pause is necessary. So if you notice that there's some kind of there's no long introductory phrase, you don't use a comma there. So you also need commas with items in a series. So if you're making a list, you use a comma between each item on that list. So I collect sand from every beach I visit, comma, postcards from foreign lands, comma, and subway tickets from big cities, period. I'm making a list of things that I collect. So after each item that I collect, whether it be sand, postcards, or subway tickets, I put a comma after that. So you'll also see this on No Red Ink. You use commas to separate 3 or more items in a series. So if you only have 2 things in your series, then you would not use a comma in that. It's not necessarily what we would call a series. So Kyle wants to climb a tree, comma, chase butterflies, comma, and nap today. Those are our 3 items in the series. You'd have a comma. So if you were creating a list of names, Eva, comma, Izzy, comma, Aaron, comma, or Allie will go ice skating with us, then you would use commas again because you're creating a series. When you're placing a comma between the last 2 items, it makes it clear to the reader that each item is separate. So Sue ordered turkey, tuna, and ham and cheese sandwiches. Here, without the comma right here, it's unclear whether she's ordering a tuna and ham or a ham and cheese sandwich. So commas are very important. To make it clear, you would say, Sue ordered turkey, comma, tuna, comma, and ham and cheese sandwiches. Sue must have been very hungry to order all those sandwiches. Do not use commas to separate 2 items in a series. So Frank ran in circles and jumped up and down. You don't need a comma there because it's just 2 items. You only start using a comma after 3 items. So we will practice this in class using No Red Ink, but just so you guys remember, when you are looking at commas, we need commas with items in a series. We also need commas after introductory elements, and that's all today for Grammar Lesson N.